As his team prepares, a coach's entire being must be concentrated on winning games.
At least, that was Bobby Knight's opinion. And after winning 902 NCAA Division I basketball games and 3 national championships, how can we argue with that?
But is there more to basketball than just winning games? Many would argue that there's more to life than basketball.
In fact, Coach Phil Jackson, 11-time NBA champion, says that not only is there more to life than basketball, there's a lot more to basketball than basketball. But how much more exactly? Can we go as far as saying that there is spirituality in sports, or even that some sports may be religious, or a religion themselves? The connection between sport and spirituality might seem hard to see at first. You don't see much evidence of spirituality at a basketball game with 10 men running around a gym bouncing a ball and another 20,000 people shouting at them. But some would say there is a pronounced spiritual aspect to sports.
I went to a high school and interviewed some coaches there to find out whether or not there's any spirituality in their coaching methods.
What is the typical relationship that you as a coach have with your players?
That's actually one of the reasons why I actually get into coaching, because it's something you actually get to know the players more than just someone like in the classroom and teaching. So we have a very positive relationship. Like, we get to know them at a personal level, so we can interact with them, get to know who they are, because it's more than just, I guess, just the game.
Is there anything contained within the relationship you have with your players that you would consider potentially spiritual?
When I think about coaching basketball, one, I think I want to make them a better person. I think that's like one of the first goals, is I want to make them a good person. I want to make them someone who's able to respect other people, that they will have be able to treat other people with respect and good morals. And if we make them a good basketball player, whatever sport we're doing in the meantime, bonus, because there's more to life than just the sport that we're doing.
I'm a big believer in destiny. So some people are put in my life for a reason, for me to be a bit more patient, to be a bit more caring. And I believe the opposite is also true, that God put me in their life for a reason. So friendship, support, it's somewhat spiritual for me, I would say.
I think that the kids that I'm coaching are not learning just basketball, but also learning like life lessons. So I'm more of a teacher than I am a coach, I think. I take pride on that.
Well, I think everything you do in coaching, you want them to take beyond the court. And I think a lot they learn in sports plays a big role now. They like character development and in building relationships later on in life. It's a big building block, I think.
Have you ever brought your faith into your coaching practices?
Well, we try to underlying have faith a part of all our sports. Like, we pray before the games, and it's a bigger part of it. Sports is big part of the kids' world, but underlining it all, it's in the end, it's just a sport. There's bigger things in life than basketball. I know it's hard to say.
I think faith is everything when it comes to basketball or any kind of sport. I think you need to have faith in your players. I think players have to have faith in their coaches to make the right decisions, to have support for one another, to know that everyone has each other's back and everyone believes in them. That is 100%. Faith is everything.
Not as outspoken. I think it's an underlying theme, I suppose. Really, I guess the one when we want to do coaching, like you want to win, but at the same time, that's not everything.
Has your faith, morality, or spirituality ever gotten in the way of winning a game?
If something went against my morals or the ethics of what I think would be right, I would have to abide by that. And I hope that through our interactions and the relationship that we have with our players, they would get that same value too. they want to win, but they know there's something bigger than that. There's more to life than just basketball.
Win at all costs? Oh, I'm very competitive. I was coached all through junior high and high school by a priest. He was very competitive. But, oh no, well, sportsmanship is huge. And I mean, you want to win, but there's to a point. Again, it's just a game, and there's more important things in life than winning all the time. It helps. Could ask the Oilers that.
Are there any religious practices or teachings you bring into your coaching?
The golden rule, 100%. I'm not sure if that comes straight from Christianity, but it is very much a part of it. And there's plenty of things from Christianity that I learned. I was Christian for a very long time, and I enjoyed its teachings. And whatever makes you a better person, you treat others like you want to be treated. I won't say, I won't make a prayer or anything like that in a huddle. I will, basically anything directly related to religion, but there are parts of religion I definitely do take into my practices and games.
It goes back to respect, compassion, faith that you talked about as well.
Praying before a game, I definitely think that means is an important quality that we can have, that and after.
What kind of things do you pray for before a game?
Focus. That would be focus, also to bring out your best, not to always look towards the next thing.
Are there any elements of your faith or spirituality that you may learn something about coaching from?
I would think that there's a lot in the way Jesus talks that you can pull from that, because really he's the ultimate teacher/coach. Really, if we're going to base off anything, he is the ultimate coach. You can model after him, and I feel then you can be an astounding coach if you take your knowledge of the game and how to deliver.
I think there's more than like 100 stories in the Bible that are incredibly motivational, and their purpose is actually to be motivational. And I think coaches out there tell stories or reiterate stories that they've heard, and they have no idea it's even from the Bible. But there's plenty from the Bible, the Catholic Bible anyway, that is incredibly motivational.
What are your thoughts on sport as a religion or being religious?
I think sport is a big part of your spiritual, moral development, big time. I think what you learn in sports can be applied big time to your life, not just like physically and mentally, but like you said, spiritually, morally, and how you develop as a person, I think, comes from sport a lot, and that's reflected later on in your life, whether it's in the church or in your teachings or whatever, what you practice, and it's your way of life, and I think it plays a huge role in how you develop as a person.
So let's say that being religious is to believe in something. Sport could be that thing that they believe at. I think you're right in a sense that sport is a religion, because there's many athletes that spend lots of time, lots of money practicing a sport. Many times, as a joke, I said that hockey, for anybody living in Quebec, is a religion. So because we read everything, we listen to everything, and we watch the game on a regular basis.
Well, if we look at how much time we put into our practice and how regularly we come to practice and games and tournaments, I can totally see the perception of this being a religion, because we go to the same place at the same time for the same amount of time with the same people. At the same time, it's a secular thing, but we're still hopefully instilling morals and values that transcend religion. These should be universal traits that we're instilling into these kids.
Can you tie sports into religion? 100%. Depends how you look at it. To me, you show up to your temple, which is the gymnasium, and you worship the basketball that has the last decision in anything.
At the end of it all, it is easy to see that there is in fact a spiritual aspect to sport. All of the coaches I talked to had varying levels of religious beliefs, and they all believe that there is a place for religion in sport. The role of the coach is primarily a teaching one, and a good coach will teach much more than just the game. After all, there is more to life than just basketball, and there is a lot more to basketball than basketball.